The latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. Shout out to Mr. Nelson for the support you are giving to the channel. I appreciate you so much. And I want all of you to say thank you to Mr. Nelson for the love he's showing to the channel. We have heard a lot concerning the coup d'etat that they tried on the 3rd of January 2026 to overthrow Captain Ibrahim Traore, which we later on learned that it wasn't to overthrow him, it was rather to take his life. It was an assassination per the confession that these people brought out. We know that the head plotter is the ex-president, Paul Henry Damiba, and a lot of people are still coming out, like the generals are still talking. He had insiders who are also military officers who decided to go against Captain Ibrahim Traore, and now they are asking for forgiveness after not succeeding to eliminate Captain Ibrahim Traore. There's another person who is also confessing the role he played. There are a lot of countries that are linked to this coup d'etat. We heard about Togo, Ivory Coast, and some are also claiming Ghana is also part of it, because there are people that, you understand, the network is very broad.
I am the sergeant. Serial number 129463, serving in the Republican Guard, specifically in the Site Protection Support Battalion 2.
2 weeks ago. About an unknown number called me several times, which I did not answer.
That's when, a few minutes later, my uncle L.H. Wemena Ali, a merchant by profession residing in Zinare, called me, and I answered the number because he gave my number to call me, saying it was his friend L.A. Sakande Maji.
Which I did. I answered the call.
L.A. Sakande informed me that he wants to see me very urgently, asking at what time we could meet. I said, okay, I will let you know. But 3 days later, the connection was established, and it was at the field of the call in Ouagadougou on the east side of the field. Upon arrival, he greeted me and called a number, but it went through, and I answered. The person started talking to me in these terms. How are you? I said, fine.
And the Zani Actasia in Ouagadougou. I said, everything is fine. What's new over there? I said, everything is fine. Do you know who this is? I said, honestly, I don't see who it is. Oh, really? Okay. It's Lieutenant Colonel Paul Henry Sandago Damiba on the phone. To which I said, okay, all my respects. He says, well,
afterwards we will chat with you. And our communication stopped there that day. 2 to 3 days later, L.A. Sakande contacted me again that Lieutenant Colonel Paul Henry Sandago wishes to speak to me. But I can come right away. I said, what level are you at? He gave me his document that was at his office. Something that happened, I went and he called Lieutenant Colonel Paul Henry Sandago to pass me. That's when Lieutenant Colonel Paul Henry Sandago let me know that he is a soldier like us, like me, and he knows it's not simple. He tells me, you don't ask, but I have a task for you. And the commission will be available either tomorrow or the day after with
L.A. Sakande Madaji that you can come and collect. I thanked him for that.
For the act he had just done.
And he also specified that L.A. Sakande Maji will clarify things for me.
after our exchange, he hung up. That's when L.A. Sakande Maji clearly informed me that it was a coup d'etat project.
That even he expects me to mobilize men for the success of the coup d'etat.
Something I accepted without saying anything, and we parted on that note. The second day I was supposed to pick up my package, I called L.A. Sakande Maji. He let me know that he is traveling and that as soon as he returns.
That's where we left it, and upon his return from his trip, it was Uncle Wemena Ali.
A professional merchant residing in Zinare have contacted me to get in touch with L.A. Sakande Maji. He is back to collect my commission.
I want to clarify that when I got
the clear details of the role I must play, which is a destabilization project, I got involved by contacting my men whom I trust more.
And it was at that moment, during the absence of Sakande Maji out of the country, I worked.
I want to clarify that I was the head of the guard at the Republican station on December 31st. December 31st,
Full right, a meeting was arranged between Laji Sakande and me at 8 o'clock in the evening at Parle Yiri at his office to pick up a package on the way. To pick up the package, I went with my vehicle with 2 PKMs and ammunition.
a lot of ammunition, 4 boxes of ammunition.
Once on site, I will have to communicate with Lieutenant Colonel Paul Henri Sandauro Danigba to take possession of my package
And take the schedules.
from the meeting. It was when I was waiting for the call that I was arrested with El Haji Sakande Madi at Parleyiri around 10 p.m.
I express my sincere regrets, Your Excellency, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces,
President of Faso,
the resilient people of Burkina Faso. I express my sincere regrets
to my hierarchy and to the military hierarchy.
I also express my sincere regrets
to all the component forces of our motherland.
I ask for clemency. I also want to ask for forgiveness from all the units engaged in theaters of operations day and night, despite the weather, despite adversity, despite the fact that the battles are ongoing. I ask for clemency.
I ask for clemency. I ask for clemency. May God help Burkina Faso. May God help Burkina Faso. May God help Burkina Faso.
Burkina Faso remains alone, unique, and indivisible. No internal or external harm can divide our dear country, which is Burkina Faso. We have only one country, Burkina Faso, and we will gather around this fabric so that no harm can befall it.
But I don't understand why the people who claim they are looking for sovereignty will sell their head of state. How much? 125,000 US dollars. This is what people are bent on taking in order to sell Burkina Faso, because in their view, they think they are doing Captain Ibrahim Traore, but they don't know that they sold their country to poverty. Look at what is happening in Venezuela right now. Look at the way things will be from now. Even if we don't know anything, we saw what is happening currently in Libya. And if truly Africans with all this information will still go to any length to cause damage to their own nation, then these people, I don't know what should be done to them. It's so heartbreaking that you can just take peanuts to take the head of state out of office. And not to take him out, but to make sure he never sees the sunrise. This is heartbreaking. That's Africans. What at all do you need that Captain Ibrahim Traore isn't doing for you? But because of someone's selfish interest, you are bent on destroying your own country just to save Paul Henry Damiba. We need to wake up as Africans, and we need to start loving ourselves and loving our country. Loving your country is not about betraying your country. These are people who are in the army, claiming they are there to serve their nation, but look at what these people are doing. That is why Africa can never move forward. Even the security that needs to protect the nation aren't ready to serve their nation. They are ready at any point in time to sell their nation out for peanuts, like we are seeing in Venezuela. They thought they did Nicolas Maduro, but who will suffer at the end of the day? Maduro is gone, but the rest of the people in Venezuela, their generations to come, will suffer this consequence. So if you would think of harming your nation, you better think about even your children you are bringing into this world before you make any move. Because if you think you are doing the head of state, you should think twice, because it is you, your children, that you are putting at risk. Sometimes, like, we are the reason to which we are not moving forward. Why didn't you ask Paul Henry Damiba why he's bent on coming back to office? If truly this man meant well for his nation, why is it that he will not support Captain Ibrahim Traore and he just wants to be the president? Under his regime, what at all did he do for Burkina Faso? These are questions the African will never ask. When we see money, money is the weakness of all of us. We must start loving our nation. The freedom fighters who fought for us and we claim we have independence, if they loved money, you and I will still be under slavery by now. So why is it that it got to you and I and we are not ready to sacrifice anything? That is what we are seeing in Iran. The people in Iran want to see a better Iran, yet they are not ready to sacrifice. Before you see anything good, you should be ready to go through pain. Nothing good comes easy. That is the same mistake that the people in Venezuela did, and they will suffer the consequences. It is you and I as Africans with history. We have learned a lot about what is happening, and you and I are the only ones that can cause a change in Africa. But if you are thinking about your own selfish interests, you should know Africa will never be better, because if all of us are thinking about what we will get, I don't think we'll come to any level that you and I will totally be free. If Captain Ibrahim Traore was thinking about himself, I don't think that today, all the things you are seeing in Burkina Faso, you would have been seeing that. Why were you not trying to destabilize the nation under the democratically elected who was doing nothing for Burkina Faso? We need to wake up. We really need to wake up. We really need to wake up. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world in Africa, West Africa, and in Burkina Faso.